Right, so I think everything's set up and I finally can get this running. Let's see, where is that video? Let's share this video on Facebook, and especially as a reply to one of the posts from someone who's been waiting far too long for his Pro 1 interface, which I'm going to do right now because I ran out over a week ago and I still haven't had time to make more. So I'm going to do that now. I hope audio is okay, so let me know please if there's anything wrong or something. But first let me share these links here. Let's see. Where was the post of the guy? Which one was it? I can't find it. Where did I leave it? Searching, just a second guys. I think it's this one. Yep. Nope. Not the correct one. Where is it? Where is it? Still haven't found it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I think it's this one, is it? Let me check. No! Dang it! This one then, this one maybe... What does Facebook do with all those ridiculous messages? They're not in chronological anymore, so... Come on. This one maybe? Nope. Maybe the guy deleted his post, I don't know. Anyway, that's odd. So someone was complaining and he was totally right, but I'm looking for his post and I can't find it anymore. So now I'm really curious what happened. Just a sec. I got his name here. Let me check if I can find him on his name, by his name. In my posts, activity log, and search. I think he deleted the post or something. I can't find it anymore. It's totally gone, so I don't know. I guess. That's a pity, I wanted to reply. Anyway, let's just post this link and I hope you can see it here, and let me check my orders so I can send them a direct message, which is obviously better than replying to the Facebook topic. Sales, let me check if I can find him. Yeah, there he is. Come on, it's only 7 days ago. He was telling people that he was waiting for 2 weeks, I think. He ordered something on the 10th. So 7 days ago. Not sure why he's complaining that much, but anyway. Let me just send him a mail. Come on, man. What is the computer doing? Is it busy that much? I'm running some backups, but no, it's not busy. Okay. Sorry for the delays, guys. Hi. His name is... come on. Almost done, guys. Just a second. Case should arrive tomorrow. They are planned for completion tomorrow, but I didn't get a shipment notification yet. Will do everything I can to get yours ready ASAP, as always, by the way. Right, let me share the stream. And then we can start with this video. Sorry for the telephone noise. Right. So now I can finally share the link on Facebook. Alright, that's one. That's two. For everyone. And let's spam some more. Let's post it on my ByteDelight channel and on my personal timeline, and then we can kick off. And I will set another thumbnail, but we'll do that later. Post. Cancel the meeting. Sinclair meetup this Saturday. Spend to be able to spend more time on production work. Right. So I think it's good enough now. No one has been chatting yet. Everyone is welcome, of course, so if you have something to say, please do. I'm not sure how often I will check the chat because I'm going to sit over there and get the production going, but I will try to keep an eye on everything here. Okay, I hope the audio is okay, let me know. First let's power on the system here. Because we needed one for the actual production. So this is the controller of the pick and place machine. Where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. I'm not going to zoom in on something because my other camera got lost. It should be somewhere here, but I've been looking, I couldn't find it, so I cannot zoom in easily. I could do it with my Ryo camera, but I think this is good enough now. Alright, there was one reel that I need to calibrate just a bit, so I want to do that first. I think it was reel 8. Yeah, I think so. So let me check. Reel 8. And let's get move nozzle, select Y, muzzle, move to vision. Let's just move the nozzle there. Can you see what's going on here? Hey Franco, good evening, good afternoon. Cool. Yeah, the stroke bubbles are the best. Let me know if you can see a bit of what I'm doing in here, of course, because the pick and place machine makes that beautiful sound when it's doing what it's supposed to. First I'm going to check if we can, let me see. Yeah. Alright, so I need to set the correct position of the part here. It's not completely centered. I'm doing it right now. So this specific part wasn't positioned correctly on the board. So I'm setting it right now, and it's going to set. I hope I'm doing this correctly. Set XY. Yep. Okay, let's do a test. Muzzle move to. Let's see if I'm doing nothing wrong here, because it will damage the complete system. Why is the nozzle this hot? Let me see. I think it's okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's perfect. Okay, cancel. Right, so I think we're set up for the Pro 1 interface, and of course let's get some boards here. No, I was afraid of that. I have to move the camera for a bit. Sorry for that, guys. So I got a stack of boards here. I think these are about 25 or something. I want to do more. I'm not sure how long I will be streaming, but let me get some more boards. But when doing a run with the pick and place machine, it's always good to do at least, so let's say 50, because it's then you have some half finished products ready, that you can finish later on when you actually need them. So now I got about 50. Right. Hey Vindix, good afternoon. Welcome. What time is it in Brazil? Tell me, I'm curious. So what we have here is the stencil, solder paste, my application tool, some CPLD chips, some RAM chips, some ROM chips, and I think we're set. Just wonder a bit why the prick is still sticking out this much. Because my thought is that it will hit the piece here. It's just over it. Okay, no problem. So I'm still running the machine at 50% of the maximum speed. I have no idea if the SpectrumNet will work on the ZX Spectrum Next. I haven't tested it myself. I do have a Next board here. It's I think a development board. But I had some problems with testing ZX Spectrum hardware on that board, and people couldn't really help me. So my best guess is at this moment, with at least the development board that I have, that SpectrumNet will not work. I'm doing some cleanup because I need a desk here. This is my power supply for my old network storage. It was failing a couple of days ago. Took some time, and I hate that because I don't have the time at this moment. And I think it's really important to have backups. So I ordered a new one already. You might be able to see the box of that one, but anyway, I got a new network storage system. So the old one is gone. The hard disk actually was failing. You can see a hard drive there, standing over there against the wall. That was the hard drive from the old network storage, and it's been replaced now. Alright. So I've been doing lots of new backups and testing and some cleanup, and anyway, I don't like to do that because I have lots of other things to do. Alright, let's check if I did everything, prepared everything to get it run here. I think so. So what we're going to do is, this way, I think so. We're going to give it a go. First, apply solder paste. This is old solder paste. I got some new one. I think this should be in the fridge. I'm not sure. I got a new one, but this isn't that old. But I can finish this because now I have the Loctite one. Where did I leave it? Oh, here. The one that everyone is talking about. This cost me 80 euros. So it's a lot more than a syringe like this one, so it won't be a big of a problem. Right, let's put some chips here, and I might only do the half finished products first because it's a lot of work of actually adding the connectors and testing the devices. So I think I will keep it with doing the half finished products for the stream. Let's see how many we can do. I'm not sure actually, so we have to check how much I actually can do. I think I have to check if everything's set. Yeah, we can put some solder paste on first. Let's get it running. This is no professional way of putting solder paste on a board. Don't get me wrong, I know that. It's just the way I'm doing it at this moment. I will improve it in the future. So the board will go on the pick and place machine. The machine will automatically calibrate the exact position on the board because it will find a spot on the board with the camera. So let's do a run. Yeah, I think you can see it running now. And I need to be close to the machine at every time because if it goes wrong, then I have to push the stop button, of course. In the meantime, I can do another stenciling. So I won't have to wait. I don't like waiting. So much stuff to do, so. This is the first time I'm doing this live. So if anyone wants to see something go wrong, then please stay and keep looking. I bet something will go wrong. So it's using the camera now to put on some parts at the correct position, of course. And in the meantime, I'm going to add new parts. Of course, you must know what you're doing because the machine can easily bump into your hand if you're not paying attention. The first one is almost done. I'm going to fire up the extraction unit in the oven here. So I can put them in a second. You can imagine how much time this saves. Because I can do some preparation things in the meantime. I can even put on connectors when the boards are finished. So that's cool. So this is how production is going in 2019. And believe me, it takes ages to calibrate the machine and so don't think it's easy. Almost done. One of the last parts. I think two more. So that's the first. Let's oh wait. Let's first put the next board in the machine so we can go on with the next board. All parts are prepared, so we can push run again. I'm going to add the SD card socket and the tactile switches manually. They are available, at least the tactile switches are available as real as well, but I'm not sure if the reel will fit on my machine, so I just put them on by hand. The first one is here, waiting for the oven. There are some things that I need to test carefully because some of the parts, some batches of the last parts didn't work 100%, so I need to test them thoroughly because I don't want people to get half-working interface, of course. And the faulty parts are detected easily, so that's a good thing. So let's do another stencil here. So when the next board is done, I will start the oven. I hate waiting, but it's I think it's better than doing this all by hand, of course. And when the first boards are ready, I will power up the soldering iron so I can do some connectors. Three more cards and then this one is ready and we can power up the oven. You can imagine that it's not too hard to do 50 of these by just pressing the run button. For some reason it missed one part. It happens from time to time, so I need to add one part here on the second board and then we can fire up the oven. Sometimes happens. Alright, so 2 boards here. And let's get it started. The extraction hood is fired on. It's outputting all the fumes to outside the window. Just checking because there's a lot of noise at this moment, so I cannot hear it. So the oven is running at this moment. I will get some connected so we can continue finishing the board. Let's see, edge connector, SD socket, dip switch of course. What do you think, guys? Is it cool to see the machine running? I think it is. So edge connectors. So the oven is running. Oh, why isn't? Oh, I forgot to press one button. It's running now. So it's ramping up to 75 degrees. Oops. Shouldn't be too much light in here because of the camera. Let's see what else connectors I need, or joystick connectors. Loads of those. Cool. The next board is done. Oh, I need should have done all the stencil. Let's do it now. Franco, I usually don't pick up the telephone anymore when I see a number that I don't know. If they need me, I will speak in voicemail or something. That's good enough for me. Right. So the first one is halfway of the oven. Almost done. It's at 175 degrees at this moment. It should get up to 235. I'm not sure if I can do 3 boils, but I will try it for once. Not done it so far. Probably done 2. The plate is big enough so it can carry 3, but of course it's important that all the parts get heated up in the same way. So I'm very happy with the new extraction dude for this place. It's the best solution for getting the fumes out. Still, there's still bit coming in inside of the house, but it's way better than what I did before. And I can even get these out. I think it's better. Let's do that. Because I haven't run the new setup with the extraction dude. I wonder if I can keep all the fumes out. It's the most important thing here. Yeah, it's almost done. Yeah, it's cooling down. The oven is opening at this moment. It's cooling down now. It's important not to touch the oven at this moment because otherwise the parts will move again. Because at the moment they are sitting on liquid tin. the solar paste. Have to wait a bit for it to cool down. Right, so we've got 3 boards waiting until the oven cooled down. I can get out the boards that have just finished. That is the oven. Right. So let's get it out. It's still hot because I'm 120 degrees and I don't have that much space, so I have to be careful here. I need to be able to open the oven a bit more than what I'm capable of now. We'll do it later. So the boards are hot, but the solder has solidified. You can see one part that's not aligned very properly, so I have to check that later on. But first, let's get the next 3 boards in. We got 3 parts here. And I think with the new solder paste, when I'm starting to use estimate now, it will go even more ease. Let's finish the old one first. Okay. So 3 boards in with this run. It's cool enough to do it by hand, which I like. And done. And start Reflow. The next one is running. So let's see what I can hear. So I need to reflow one part at least. Bit of pity, didn't expect that, but not a big problem. Give it a bit of a bump. It is connected, but it's sitting a bit not completely straight. It's a bit angled. Not sure what has happened. Maybe because I bumped the oven when I opened it. Should have waited for a bit longer. Better. Cool down a bit. Okay, the new one is running. Cool down a bit more. Before it's starting, that's ridiculous. Maybe I will change the profile, but we'll do it later on. Yeah, I know all the noise. I'm not going to use a headset at this moment. Just watch it. You see what I'm doing. Right, next one. I guess the noise is more loud than the music, so we'll up the music a bit. Sorry for the noise, guys. Not much I can do about that. Okay, let's put in the next board. That is a result of the first one. I'm not sure if it's focusing, but let me do a manual focus then. Cool, isn't it? I think it's cool. Yeah, you're right, Gary, but I'm just an amateur, you know. So when you do it in 2 passes or more, you get too much solder paste on the boards actually. But it's not a big problem because most of the solder paste that's applied will just go to the legs of the parts. It's not a big problem. There are some bridges from time to time. Actually, these ones do not have any bridges, so that's good. Also, when you put on too much paste, the bottom of the stencil will get dirty, and you have to clean it from time to time. So always have some IPA ready. But you're right. So you really have to do 1 pass. But I think it's also because this solder paste that I'm using right now is a bit thick, and I think the Loctite is a lot better than that. So I'm very happy with the Loctite. So we'll use it later. But at this moment I will just go on with the current solder paste. It works good enough, you know. I just think I could use something better than this. This is too thin. I need something that's a bit harder than it. I could show you the applied solder paste. Let me get the camera focused manually again. So this is the manual. Oh, yeah, the manual solder paste. You can see it's too much, but all the bridges are cleaned up when reflowing in the oven. So it's really good enough. So the next run is over halfway, but it's good. And I told you that I would get next zone. We'll get that in a second. But what I want you to do is to be able to just continuously work with all the things running, so I can use my time as efficiently as possible. So let's get on some other parts here. What I always do is I'm using lens-free solder, by the way, because I'm now able to do that. And according for certification, of course. But what I always do is I will put some extra solder paste, solder wire on the. Just a second, guys. on the connectors, so to make sure those won't, the soldering joints won't crack or something and the parts will come up. That's important. When you do it manually, it's always better than with the pick and place machine. So for example, the SD card sockets, I will add some solder manually. And same with the tactile buttons. Not taking any chances by people who cannot get them off easily or something. Then let's do the bottom SD card. So completely debt free. Oops. That wasn't good. It opened automatically in the bump, so I hope the parts are all in the correct place. We'll see. So I think I should change the opening angle a bit. We'll do that in a minute. Shouldn't fall open. So again, when the parts are on the board, when it's just finished in the oven, they're all laying on liquid. And when you bump the oven, they will for sure move, which is awful. The temperature was already a bit lower, but I think I will make the opening of the oven a bit less. Make sure it won't happen again. I always like to finish what I'm doing, so I'm currently finishing the soldering on the bottom SD card socket, and then I will get on with the next boards. And I really hope the parts on the three boards in the oven are not bumped. We'll see. Okay, let's get it out. I think they're okay. I don't see anything wrong here. It's just still really hard to get them out without having them fall, so I need to do some more improvements there. But nothing went wrong with these, just have them cool down. They're really hot, so I have to be careful. Let's get the second board out for this batch. We'll get the next one in a second. But I want to get the oven running. White looks good. It looks good to me. Almost cooled down enough. I just want to be able to grab it by hand without any problem. So this syringe is almost emptied, and I want to finish it first before going with the Loctite. It's called LC10 or something. fun. You can see the parts getting towards there. Let's get it going. Okay, next two boards are going into the oven. And it's running again. Oh, I thought, let me just change the opening. Okay, change it a bit. Must be enough. Okay. Good to go. So in the meantime, I will continue with the first ones to finish them. Let's put an edge connector on this one. Right. Right, now the dip switch. First let's check the connections of these resistor networks. They should be perfect. If I'm doubting, then I will reflow them manually. This one could have a bit more. Yeah, it's better. Okay. We check for shorts, bridges, solder bridges. Nothing here, so that's okay. Okay, that's perfect. So no solder bridges on this one, so we can put in the final parts, and then this one is ready. One, joystick connectors. So the oven is at, oh, it's still waiting, still waiting for it to cool down. I hate it. I really should change that, but I will. I have to change it on the SD card, so maybe I will do it in a second. I thought it was already running. The reason it does that is so the timings are within range of expectation. That's the only thing, but it will run as well when it's still 70 or 80 degrees. It's no problem, it doesn't have to cool down until 50 degrees or something. Anyway, so first one is finished. That's how it looks. I will add the serial number, of course, later on. Hey Owen, good afternoon. Cool. Yeah, you're totally right, Gary, about the solder paste. But I'm still learning, I'm still improving with every run it's getting better. And yeah, you're totally right, I should have done this ages ago. So I know I'll already have to clean the bottom of the stencil because it's sticking to the board because of the excessive amount of solder paste. Right, next. Okay, sheet has been set up. Right. Let's continue with this board. Aligning the edge connectors kind of hard because I want to have them perfectly on, perfectly leveled. Otherwise, the interface will sit at an angle on the back of the setting spectrum. I don't want that. So again, absolutely no solder bridges, which is perfect. So the second one is going to be finished now. All is about ready. So we'll open the door again to a slightly lesser degree. So it shouldn't fall open again. In a couple of seconds. Right, so the second one is finished. So we got two now. You can go to the test tree behind me, but not now. If I do these by two boards in the oven, I have enough time to work on finishing other boards, and that's what I want. So it makes life a lot easier, although getting such a machine up and running is really a lot of work. But once it's doing what it should do, it's a lot better. So the oven is opened already. Carefully open it completely. I think I want to change that start setting of 50 degrees to 75, so you won't have to cool down to 50 degrees. There's absolutely no good reason for that. I have to do it on the computer. We'll do it in a minute. So usually it takes me about 2 hours, 1.5 hours sometimes to finish 5 of these boards, and now I can do a lot more in the same time and have even more partially finished, so I can store those and they won't consume too much space, which is as well important as well. So half finished products, I like that. So I want to produce, in a day I want to produce about what I need in a week or two, and then have the machine available again for other interfaces, which I can do the same with. So get enough halfly finished products ready for the next weeks. And that completely works here with the limited space I have, and the fact that I'm not having any employees at the moment. I'm planning on doing that. I could do it, but I don't want to. There are several reasons for that. One of the reasons is that the regulations in Holland are changing, in the Netherlands are changing again. Oh, we should say the Netherlands, by the way. It was on the news last week here, Dutch news. And we Dutch people should say the Netherlands instead of Holland. Anyway, now I forgot what I was saying. My own mistake. Oh yeah, regulations with employees. So you cannot easily get employees that you can take for a short while or something. It's impossible. Right. So this is the SD card for the pick and place machine. Sorry for the reflow oven, I'm mistaken. I'm going to do a small change on them. Why should I restore the station? There's nothing wrong with it. So the thing I'm going to do is there are bitmap files on them. Why? Oh, that's cool. It made pictures of itself. Cool. Anyway, let's set the starting temperature to 75 instead of 50. Wait until below 50, no, 75. That's what we're going to do. I don't think it actually has to wait anymore. Why should it do that? Should I just... Yeah, let's just delete that. Waiting for oven to cool, there's no reason for that. Let's just comment that out, it's easier so I can use it later on if I need to. Pre-soak. Let's put the pre-soaking temperature to something like 85. Yeah, let's do that. So I did some changes here. Yep. Okay. This doesn't work because I'm not sure which profile I'm currently having, so we'll rename it. Let's rename it. Let's put in some kind of serial number. V2. So I can recognize it when I put it in there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, start. Alright, don't start. Because there's nothing in there. Oh, the old boards are in there. Anyway, that's finished. Let's get the boards out. It's cooled down enough. It's 49 degrees now, so I should be able to pick it up easily. Nice. Still no solar bridges. I love that. Did you love it? I love it. And start. Right. So let's get the machine running again. Because it's sitting still doing nothing, and that's not what it's supposed to do. Let's clean the bottom first, otherwise it will get messy. This is one of the first stencils I had. I have new ones that are more flat. They're sort of smaller, which will be easier to use, but for now I'm still using this one. And the good thing is, if you are improving, then everything is always an improvement. And you can do it step by step and not change everything altogether. Right. Let's get some paste on. The tube is really almost empty now. Dirty because of the soldering paste. Hey Peter, good afternoon, man. Welcome to my attic. Right, next run. First I'm going to cut away some pieces of tape here because they're in my way. And run. Stop. Okay, something went wrong. It's one of the reels, the table reels, not getting to the bottom. That could do a lot of damage. So just on time here. Make sure it's actually getting down now. Not sure why I didn't see that earlier. Let me check if I can reach it. So as I said, some things will go wrong. They always will. Is this one? Yeah, it's just this one, I think. No, it's not this one. Which one is it? Oh, it is this one, okay. It's a long one here, so it's a good thing I can just pull it. Nothing wrong here. We just start it again. We were just on time. Oh. All right. Your coffee? Your coffee? Right. Keep an eye on the grill, of course, now. So again, no solid bridges at all, perfectly aligned. That's what we want. Why is there still stuff on my hands? What do I stop? This reply is very bad, so I don't like it at all, but anyway, we have to do it at this moment. Okay, next from the machine is the reflow is done. The machine is done as well. Let's get the next board ready because the oven is almost ready as well. the next one. Missing 2 parts here, like 6. Not sure why. I don't know. 2 parts are missing on this board. Let's put them on manually. Right. This one is waiting, that one is almost ready. I could increase the speed of the machine, and in that case I don't have to wait for the machine to finish and don't have to do something else in the meantime. For example, it could be wise because you don't have to focus on so many different things, but I think I just like it to be able to finish products in the meantime while waiting for the other machines to finish their work. I think I like that. The only downside of that, of course, is that if something goes wrong, then you're not directly at the machine that needs attention. That's the only thing. That's a lot better than in the beginning when I first started using the machine months ago. The needle that will forward the parts on the reel often got stuck, and there are several reasons for that. But one of the main reasons is that once it got stuck, the pin was damaged. There were some sharp indents in it, for example. So after that, it was happening a lot more. It was getting stuck a lot more because of the scratches and indents, and so it's really important to keep that needle, that prick needle, clean and completely smooth at all time. So once it bumps to something, you really have to stop the machine, get the needle mechanism off the machine with some screws, and completely sand it so it's smooth again. And I hate doing that, but it hasn't happened for a while now, and I think for this moment it's good enough. Alright. I want to finish this one, I like it. I like finishing it. Want to make sure if the parts are on correctly. Yep. No problem there. Some parts are known for getting bad connections more than other parts. For example, the small resistor networks I use, I really think I shouldn't have chosen those parts. Maybe I should have chosen either separate resistors or simply a bit bigger networks than I'm using now, because these are so small that it's easy for the solder to not get every connection perfectly. And it has happened a couple of times that people, after testing even, that people complained about one of those connections not functioning, and you can see that when one of the joysticks is not functioning perfectly, for example. But it's a lot better now. So testing is one, but making sure the quality is good enough already is as important, of course. Hey, birdie. Do you guys like a stream like this? I know it's a bit boring when I'm not saying anything, but it's just part of the work, you know? You're looking directly in my factory, production facility, however you want to call it. ByteDelight headquarters. So, third one is finished. Let's get that one off and let's get the next boards into the machine. And now, now it's impossible to keep up because of all the boards that are waiting for the connectors. So I'm going to do some, put some boards in the box, which I cannot finish right now. That's exactly what you want, you know? Right. Always check the alignment of the parts if it's good enough. It will help the reflowing process. So all parts are on here this time, so better than the previous run. The oven is only 40 degrees, so I can see by measurement that I can pick it up without burning my hands, which is good, because I like my hands. I don't like burning my hands. Alright, next one. I really love this process. Hi, Birdie, nice to meet you too. From DKtronics, yeah. Cool. So I'm going to get the Pro one box. This is this one, and just for ease of mind, I'm going to put some anti-static material on the bottom of the box. That might help, might not. So these are partially finished, which is way good enough. I'll put in there more, so I don't know where to put the box, so I'll put it here now for now. And the finished one will, finished ones will go over here for later. Right. Okay, let's work on these two. Should put the machine to work, don't you think? We'll do that in a second. I would already be happy if I can make 10 at this moment. Finish 10. Because people have been waiting for far too long and I have so many other stuff to finish. I'm not showing, the camera is not showing it, but there is a list directly to the left of the camera. Let me show you just a bit of it. And those are all the things I need to finish for customers. There's a lot more on top of there, you cannot see it. So I'm really behind with a lot of work. Why is Armin van Buuren alive? That's not true. it's the Windows messaging service again, which is late, as always. I love State of Trends shows from Armin, so it reminds me, but Windows 10 is often late with sending me those messages, which is a pain sometimes. Sometimes I get messages from Windows saying that I got emails which I got a day ago or something, you know. I'm not sure why they keep it up. Stop it, please. Stop the ridiculous system. It doesn't work. Anyway. Okay. This is good. Yep. So I can finish these two in a minute. I'll first get the machine running. And before doing that, I want to clean my tool here because it's dried out. Could be one reason of not doing it this way. Anyway, because it dries out and it's expensive stuff, you know. It's not that much, don't throw away, so it's not that big of a deal. Good enough. And now, check if I room the bottom again. No, it's good enough over as well. So we can get it on. Hey Stuart, welcome. Open us halfway again. Okay. Put on some new solder paste. Prepare the parts. And pick up this run. Right, oven is almost finished. No problem, Franco. See you later, guy. Okay. So let's finish these two. the oven is ready, put it down. Thinking of doing some more improvements to the fume extraction system because it's not completely perfect. I have some ideas, so we'll probably do it tomorrow because that's one of the most important things. It's not unhealthy to do this work, and as long as I can smell some of the fumes, I know it's not perfect. A lot better than the beginning, but still not perfect. It's been good enough. You cannot see the complete system. There's some more tubing going on behind the extraction hood, but it's at this moment the output of the extraction hood is conflicting or putting back some air through this hose here, and I need to change that. I have a good idea to solve that, that's not a problem. But I need to finish it for as soon as possible because I'm still getting some smells here and it's not extracting the fumes good enough. So another one finished. This was the fourth one, I think, yeah. Double checking if I'm not forgetting something, but this one is okay. The oven is about ready, so let's open it up. Do the other one, so we can put on the oven once again in a minute. But at least I'm finally capable of keeping up with the demand of these interfaces. The only problem is there's so much more work than only interfaces and packing and processing orders and messages, and so there's really a lot more going on than that. But you just have to keep on working. Just a bit. The problem at this moment, Gordy, is that the extraction hood is pushing air back through this hose. Of course that shouldn't happen, so I'm going to do a little modification and then it will be over. And these are the fumes you're seeing are not the fumes that I'm smelling, because the fumes from the oven are much worse than these ones. And they're actually not getting into my face. Maybe it looks like that by the camera, but they're moving upwards there. Maybe it's just fun to have a way of seeing what is finished by just putting it together here. To make some space, I think. That's too low. Let me think. Let's put something underneath. We'll just move the camera then. Okay, so now we can see the ones that are finished and the ones that are partially finished. I think it's cool to be able to see that. Yeah, that's a stencil. The professional fume extraction systems are quite expensive, you can say that. I think they're worth the money sometimes, but the problem is I thought I could just make a system that extracts the fume out outside the window. And it was harder than I thought. I thought it would be more easy, but the fume extraction systems that you can obtain just filter the stuff, but the bad thing about those is that you need to change the filters. I'm not sure what the cost of that is, but I think once a month or something like that, if you use it a lot. Not sure why this is not working as I wanted. Should extract a bit more, but anyway. I should have maybe just gotten a professional system, I'm not sure, ecosystem or something like that. Echo, not sure what it's pronounced. Anyway. And the extraction system would mainly work with manual production. But for the oven, I think the extraction unit is the best solution for that. I have some options of improving every detail of the setup. For example, I can have something installed that goes through the roof, so there's less air resistance because of the tubes I'm using some flexible tube parts. Those have a lot more air resistance than the fixed ones. So I can ask my constructor, we call it constructor, I'm not sure, to create a opening through the roof and have something installed for that. Of course, I want to be able to close it when it's cold outside or something. Maybe I will do it later on. First, let's do these two, and then we can switch the boards to the machine, oven, sorry. And maybe I will stop it. I could go on picking more boards, but I really wish to finish the ones that are waiting. You can see it's not that much work of setting up the oven and the pick and place machine to get this board running. But I think if I have 15 boards done by the oven, I may finish those 15 and get them tested. So, a couple of things are not completely finished yet, or completely not finished. For example, I need to add other boards to the automated production line, of course. Currently the Pro one is the only one. But I have plenty more interfaces to through there. I just didn't have time to configure the pick-and-place machine for that. But the next one will be the SpectraNet interface. I already have the reels on the machine for that, because they have lots of other parts than the Pro one and other interfaces that I designed myself. It's been designed by DivMMC, you may know. So it will cost me some time to set up the pick-and-place machine for that. But of course, when that has been done, it will save me all the time of sending those by hand. Which I'm looking forward to a lot, you can imagine. We'll do a quick count in a second to check how many I did on the pick-and-place machine so far. And see if I will call it a day for that and finish these boards. I think speed is going up by factor of 3 maybe. Of course you still need the time to finish the products and so, you know. But testing and packing all the stuff. But it's still at least a factor 2 that I can now produce. So at least 20-25 interfaces a day. Yeah. And I mean completely finished, not only the boards through the production line, but completely finished. And that's really a lot more than in the past. And more than enough for me. Yeah, perfect. A couple of solder bridges here. Well, I should make 50 to 100 boards or something in one run because of efficiency, but because people are really waiting for at least, for example, these Pro 1 boards. This is the best selling product at the moment. I should really finish about 15 so I can ship out those orders. To be honest, I'm about 3 weeks behind with all work, and that's a lot. It's 3 weeks of having people waiting. Some people are really waiting for 3 weeks or more even. For example, the SpectraNet interfaces, some orders came in about a month ago, I think. And I really hate keeping people waiting, but it's sometimes so hard to decide what to do first, you know. I should have finished the production line a long time ago, but I used the time to develop new products, so I had more products in my web shop, and I used the time to get more stuff produced by hand, and maybe I should have decided early on to stop doing that by hand, because now the problem is bigger than earlier. You know, so it's difficult, but we'll get there. So at this moment I'm very stressed, but I hope it will be a lot better in next month. As I just posted on Facebook, I really have to say no more often. I really hate that because, for example, this Saturday there's a really cool meetup, Maarsen here in Holland, sorry, the Netherlands. I'm still saying Holland. With a lot of people from Facebook, people that I know already. Would really love to meet him there again, but the problem is that I can just not do that because of all the open orders that need to be processed. I really should focus on that first. It will get better in the future, but anyway, let's get to the positive things. I really like using the Reflow oven. It's simple to change some details in the configuration on the SD card or something else. The machine itself, but it's a fully automated oven now, and I like that a lot. Just have to push a button and it does what it needs to do. This looks perfect. The board is just folded very well. The bridges are all gone, so let's finish the board here. So I actually had a presentation this Saturday about SpectraNet. I wanted to do that with a live stream as well. Wasn't sure yet that we should do it in English or in Dutch, because all the people who are visiting the location are Dutch-speaking people, of course. But I had to cancel the day for myself. The other guys will go. Setting up the hardware for SpectraNet there would mean hours of work. Also getting more SpectraNets done. I think I have 2 laying here. There are 3 in total, and other people could bring that down with their own one as well, of course. But then getting a presentation ready, getting there, being there the whole day, would really cost me 2 to 3 days in total. And I really cannot spend that time on it at this moment. And I really hate it. I'm not capable of doing that at this moment. So I'm just moving on. I'm going to finish more interfaces and catch up with all the work. I hope next week I catched up, but I know I have lots of specific wishes and orders, repairs for example, that need to be done as well. A lot of them. So I don't think a week is enough. Maybe 2 weeks, I hope. A lot of people are complaining and waiting, and they're totally right. But it's, yeah, it's partially due to the success of ByteDelight, and because I'm getting more and more orders. I've never had this much orders at this moment. Some people think there are just a couple of hundred of Sinclair enthusiasts around the world, but they're totally mistaken. There are a couple of thousands, maybe tens of thousands. I can see that by the sales. So I don't want to give away too much numbers, you know, because of the competition. But there's competition. People are jealous most of the time because I just work hard, you know. I'm doing this full time, by the way. Okay, I forgot the edge connector, which is important as well, of course. But the birdie, I'm doing 50 to 100 partially finished, you know, with the pick and place machine and the Reflow oven, not more than that. So the completely finished products take more time than a day when I want to do 50 or 100. I might be able to do 50 in a day completely, but there's no reason for that. I just need to have the half-finished products waiting for batches of 5 or 10 to complete. All the time that I spent in the past doing these manually, that's now gone. It's completely automated. It really saves me a lot of time. One of the bad things that I told already is that some of the batches that came in with new stock parts sometimes are not completely reliable, so I have to do fourth testing to make sure that all interfaces are working correctly. Sometimes the CFLD is not completely working, sometimes the ROM chips are not completely working. That's what you get with old parts, and less reliable sources sometimes. But I'm learning, and I'm learning which supplies are reliable and which are not. And sometimes you get a batch with bad products and you get in touch with the supplier and they make sure the next batch is better, you know, those kind of things. Okay, another one finished. So I got 1, 2, 3, 6 ones finished here. I got 4 more in the box, so I have 10 here, I got 2 there, so I'm at 13 now, which is not enough. I want 2 more, then I want to finish. I think I have some coffee behind me, so let's do some coffee in a second. First, let's get the machine running. Yeah, I know. It's good weather here for a change. It's still cloudy, but I think it's 20 degrees outside. Wow. Oh, yesterday it was only 14, so it's a lot better. Hey, next one. Still coping with this wheel here. Not sure why it's doing that. This is sitting okay, so it's not a problem. Just keep an eye on that because I don't want to crash it again. Okay. Now we wait. That one is cooling down. I can finish this one in the meantime. See some solid ridges again. I think it's because of the dried out paste. So when I wait too long, the paste is not good enough, and I need to clean it first before using before stenciling again. So that's one thing I can learn from this. Paste dries out quickly. It's not in the oven, it's really the applying the solid paste with the stencil. A couple of more solid ridges here. Nice. The rest is okay here, so a lot of light coming from the outside, so the clouds are disappearing a bit. let's see. This one is okay. Okay, the temperature is down enough to pick it up. Nope, it's not. It's just a bit too hot. Let's wait for a couple of minutes more. So after the next two are done by the pick and place machine, so we're going to clean up here, the stencil here, and finish the 15 frames that are done so far. Yeah, the solder paste is really dried up, so it's not a good idea to wait too long. I hope it's better with the other stuff. We will see about that. I think the composition of that is a lot better. It's made for keeping in room temperature, so we'll see. So the last one for now then. And then we'll finish the 15 boards. Alright, so we can clean up the stencil first. Maybe I should use the smaller one next time because the stencil plate is not good enough. It's really a big mess. Sticky, it's dirty, it's not completely flat, you know, so it's not the best solution for now, but it works if you have everything. It's good enough to use it. There you go. That shouldn't happen. I don't know what just happened, but I think something got stuck. We'll sort it out in a moment. Okay, so the stencil is clean. The machine crashed. I hate it when it happens, but this time it wasn't the prick, it wasn't the vacuum nozzle. Don't know what happened. Something went wrong here. It's not good because the nozzle can be damaged quite easily here. So I have to see if it's still straight. I think it is, but I have to make sure. No, it's not getting on enough, easy enough. But anyway, this was the last one we wanted to do. So the only downside is I need to put some SMD parts on manually now, but we'll do that. Let's do these two then. Maybe I will put on the SMD parts later on with the water station. Might be easier. Put them in the oven and finish these two first. It's not the biggest deal. I've had worse sounds than this one, but I think it's this really here. I'm not sure why it wasn't doing what it's supposed to. It's a bit stuck. Don't know why. Don't know. I have no idea. Well, one could be the tape cover that it's not seeing tight enough. I think the tape was not pulled away quickly enough. This is better. Anyway. Software is getting insane at this moment. Yeah, I know. you're gone. Okay. So we had one crash today, we'll check the nozzle later on. It wasn't a prick or something, so don't know exactly what happened, but it's not a big problem. Most of the parts are on this board already, so I will put it in the oven, and as I said, I will do the other parts with the fire station. No, I'm missing one part here. Oh, this is there. I want to put it on first. No, it wasn't expensive. Stencils are actually quite cheap. The pick and place machine does have 2 cameras, Peter, but they're not. The machine is not connected to the internet, so to network at all. So I'm not using any of the hardware on my normal network. That's because I don't trust the Chinese software. Alright, I will just put these 2 in the oven. I got the other 2 out here. And the other parts will go on later. Right. Now stencils are cheap because they're just very thin metal sheets, 0.4 millimeter or something. Cut by a laser, and those machines are not expensive anymore. So you can get stencils at various points. You get them from C Technology in China at the moment. It's a studio, by the way. It's the same place where I get my boards. It's a well-known place, you know. Okay, so I'm going to finish these boards. Let's see if I can do all 15 with the stream still running. I think we're into 2 hours or something. Let me check. Yeah, 2 hours. But 15 in about 2.5 hours is not bad. Solar paste is a paste. It's a solar with added flux, and it's the only way of applying that, of course, is when it's flexible, when it's not fixed yet. So you can put it on with a stencil. Just put the paste through the holes in the stencil. But then the parts are not fixed yet, so the paste is on the board. You put on the parts with the pick and place machine or manually if you want to. But then of course the paste needs to be fixed. And the way of doing that is by reflowing the paste. So first it will get to a very high temperature, lead-free is about 240 degrees. And when it cools down, then it's like normal solder. It will just solidify. And then all the parts are fixed. So that's what you do with the oven. So hence it's called a reflow oven. So it's flowing the solder and then it's solidifying the solder by cooling down. And solder paste is very cool stuff. It's very good to use stuff. Of course, used by all professional factories, but also used a lot more and more instead of solder wire, because people tend to like applying solder paste sometimes a lot more than using solder wire. I'm not sure if I would use it for that, but I can imagine that some people will. I still use solder wire a lot, like for connectors and so, you know. But maybe for S&D parts, solder paste is as easy to apply. But of course you will use a syringe then instead of a bottle of paste. Paste is expensive. It's more expensive than a reel of solder wire, by the way. A lot more. But then you don't need that much, you need a lot less. So I guess you can do about the same amount of boards for the same price, both solders, so solder wire or solder paste. You need a lot less solder paste compared to solder wire. That's what I want to say. I hope I'm making myself clear. Not sure. Let me check connections of the parts here. So we just removed some solder bridges. I always do this with each board before doing some testing, because it's really important to make sure that all stuff is connected correctly. And also because if you don't do this in the beginning, you might not be able to see some problems later on because of other parts that are in the way then, you know. So I do that a couple of times with each board, it's important. Okay, so the last boards are in the oven now. You can smell that. One more bridge. Almost done. I use a lot of solder wick. It's quite expensive. It's just a copper wire with a flux inside. It's quite expensive, but you don't need that much of it most of the time. So it will last for a while. Okay. Okay, this looks perfect. I really like the way the solder flows with solder paste, by the way. It's a lot more nice to see than compared to using solder wire. It looks more professional, you know. Hey Sergi, good afternoon. Yeah, many people only use through-hole parts. I did it as well for a while. Even the first DivMMC boards that I did, the first 200 maybe, were completely made of through-hole parts. But it's not the way to go these days. Oh, by the way, that's not true what I just said, because of course the first DivMMC interface already had CPLD chips on them, but most of the other parts were through-hole. But it's really less time consuming using S&D, even manually. So there are a couple of reasons of doing that. You can make smaller boards, smaller interfaces, you can put more boards in the same footprint, sorry, more parts in the same footprint. So there are a couple of reasons of using S&D parts and solder paste, and you know. Sometimes you get interfaces that are overpowered, like the Spectronet interface. It's not really overpowered, but it's a 4-layer board, and it's so stuffed with parts that there's really so much stuff on there that you can compare the number of components is about twice the number of components that are, for example, on the Pro 1 interface. But then it's the most complex interface at this moment. Its core does have a FPGA chip, and there's a lot more going on the board. But anyway. I was talking about the MBO3 Plus, by the way, not about SpectraNet, but the FPGA chip. The SpectraNet still only has a CPLD chip on it. That's the reason that I decided to make it, because I already had a lot of experience with CPLDs and programming them. I've not yet done boards with FPGA chips, but I'm thinking I'm going to do that in the future, because I'm very curious about the DivMMC interface, which is based around an FPGA. And I really want to know what that interface is capable of. I do want to use it only as an interface, not as a substitute for the ZX Spectrum, because it can act as a standalone device. It can mimic the ZX Spectrum completely, or emulate. But FPGA, of course, is more close to original hardware than just an emulator on a PC, for example, is. But the DivMMC can act as a quite complete FPGA-based interface, and I'm curious about its possibilities. The only problem is I still haven't been able to obtain one. So I will dig into that whenever I find time, or whenever I get stressed and want to do something else than just production work, you know. Hope to be able to finish these 15 boards today, so I can spend time on other things tomorrow. That would be very nice. Especially because people have been waiting for so long. Well, I imagine, Birdie, that this is only I'm not sure. I still call it amateur setup because it's a cheap pick and place machine, or relatively cheap, of course. It's still a couple of €1,000. Anyway, it's a budget machine. Let's call it that. It's definitely not comparable to a professional one in the factory or something. But it's for a company like ByteDelight, for us, this is more than enough to get the amount of products that we need. And yes, I would like to have the boards done on a professional setup, professional pick and place machine and production line. But the problem with that is that the price of that is a lot higher than using my machine here. I have done I've called a couple of many companies that do PCB assembly, but it was really not affordable. It would have increased the price for the products by a real lot, and I don't think it was worth it. For example, when I do SpectraNet now, of course I have to spend a lot of time, but I think I can make them cheaper than Dylan did with back then 10 years ago with the company that he used. Even when I'm doing them by hand, you know, because of the lower cost that I have. But maybe I'm mistaken because I have to spend a lot of time making those by hand. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to stop doing that by hand. I just want to focus on finishing products instead of producing them with all assembly parts. That's what I want to get towards. And we're almost there, to be honest. There are a couple of things that I want to consider, like obtaining a second pick and place machine in the future, having some redundant stuff, so when one of the machines stop working, for example, I can get it serviced before and then use another one for a while. I don't know, I have to check, because I would never want to go back to manual production again, of course, because I don't have the time for that. But we'll see. I don't think I have the space here for a second pick and place machine. There's so much on the desk here. There's 2 monitors here. There are 2 laser printers behind me. There's a 3D printer. There's a pick and place machine. There's the whole setup with the Reflow oven and Fume extraction. My test setup, the other side. I really need all the space there. So the left machine of the test setup is, you cannot see it at the moment, but the left machine is to program CPLD chips. Then the next one is to flash the ROMs. And that same machine is used for testing the interface as well, and then the rest of the space is needed to pack the interfaces when they're ready. And that's all the space I have. So I really have to do it with the space I currently have. I could move to a bigger space, but it will seriously mess up the routine I have now. I work from home, you know. All packages arrive here. I can see my kids throughout the day. That will be a lot different when I will work on an external location. Even though there's some space to rent here, some office space for within only 5 minutes of a drive, you know, so it's nearby, but we'll see. And I'm not waiting for. You can imagine if you expect packages, that couriers can arrive as early as half past 8 or something in the morning. And when I start at home, there's no real need of taking a shower before that and getting fully dressed, you know. I don't want to get into details, but you can imagine what I mean. So there are a lot more things that need to change when you will work from a separate location, and I'm not really looking forward to that. So as long as I can, I will work from home. Maybe I should have bought a house here 2 years ago that had a space in the backyard and the company space, but I really didn't want to do that because I don't want people to know what I'm doing because of burglars, you know. So I don't like to tell people that I have an electronics company and they can just visit my personal space, you know, my private space, and try to get me robbed. I don't like the idea, so that's why I either would go to an external space or just stay here. It's something else if you have something like a nail salon or something like that, you know, in your house or something else. But I don't want to do the same with the electronics company. I like the idea. So I'm finishing boards at the moment. I have about 7 or 8 left. We'll finish those and then I will stop the stream. And you can imagine if the pick and place machine crashes like it just did, that it will take about 20 minutes or something to get it up and running again. I hate it, but it happens. It's a cute machine, yeah. Hey Robert, yeah, you're totally right. I was in contact with DPD, but I still have to get feedback from them. We'll call them again to see what they're up to at this moment after the stream. Okay. More things that don't look nice. Right. So I want to get to that point that I can keep up with the demand. And if I get too much demand, maybe I will just, if that's really a problem, then I could decide to put some stuff out of stock, for example, because I don't want to keep people waiting that long, like Robert, because I have to finish a problem with DPD. But at least I want to be able to keep up with the demands with production, and at this moment we have enough work, to be honest. So my main goal now is to make sure that we can keep up. So our quality of service must be improved before doing something else, you know. But as I said, because the orders were increasing, the number of orders were increasing that I get any day, we were fighting against against more and more orders instead of fighting away the backlog. That was what I was trying to do, but when you get more orders, it's really hard to get a backlog done. And that's what happened throughout the last half year. With lots of consequences for me and my family, so we really have to think of how to improve that. Right. Okay. Dang. Sorry, Sergi, I just deleted your message instead of approving it. I'll put the question, I will copy it again myself here. So Sergi just asked, do you have an interface to connect the FTD drive to HQ? What do you mean with HQ? Elves. No, I have 2 kids, I could use them. No, my wife helps me. But the kids are having a school holiday this week, so at this moment my wife is with the kids downstairs. Or maybe outside, I'm not sure, I have to check. So that's how we split up the work that we need to do each day. And no time for relaxation, not a lot. We did do some swimming last Monday. It was extremely good weather here. I was walking in a t-shirt outside in autumn, you know. It's ridiculous. In October. Anyway, what do you mean with HQ? I was wondering. Sergi, tell me. Did you mean HD maybe? High definition? Oh, Arkin, okay. Well, we have the ByteDelight interface, for example. I also have some original disk interfaces, but the ByteDelight is a new one. It's based on the Plus D, of course, but it doesn't have the printer port because no one uses it anymore. But it has an added joystick interface. And that's, I think the Plus D is one of the best interfaces to obtain to get the floppy drive connected to a ZX Spectrum or Harkin. You could also, we also have brand new dual floppy drive sets. They have 2 high density floppy drives inside, but they act like double density when you use double density disks. And the drive has been configured to work on sugared pinout interfaces. So not IBM PC, but sugar, the one that all retro computer interfaces use. So you can obtain a complete set from our web shop, so expecting the shop if you are interested. And I myself really like working with floppies, 3.5 disks mainly, because it's more nostalgic than using SD cards or and faster, of course, than using tapes. So I really like that. Okay, how many did we finish already? Let me check. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not 7 of 9, but 7, 8, 9. I'm really looking forward to the new Picard series, of course. So these ones are finished. And we have 6 left, so we have 15 in total. Exactly what I wanted for now. And I want to finish them all, so we have enough stock for the next week, about a week, not more than that. This one needs some more parts, I knew that already, and this one as well, so I will do those after I finish the other ones. I can see some solder bridges there, not much, but a couple. So before I needed about 6 hours to do 15 interfaces, and now only 3, so it's indeed twice as fast, which is perfect. Alright, all the bridges are gone. I need more edge connectors. I only have a couple, I don't have enough for all 15. I need to prepare more. And that's what I need to do every 3 or 4 days now because of the demand. I already ordered a lot more of these edge connectors, which are hard to obtain these days. So what I want to do this afternoon is finish these interfaces, test them. Maybe I will do 5 or 10 first, because I need to do a lot of messages and call DVD and more. I need to use my time wisely. Yeah, there are people, there are companies that only trade and stuff, and that's fine, you know, but I myself really like to develop and produce new stuff, and I like both, you know. I think I might prefer development, but I also like to see that products that have been developed also get to people, you know, and so people can enjoy the same products as I enjoy. And so one of the things I do is develop new stuff myself, but also talk with people that have developed things like SpectraNet or the DivMMC, the original one, where Reflow did, of course. And I talk to them and ask if they are planning on producing more, and if they don't, then ask them if I could produce more of those interfaces. And of course, I talk to them with compensation for their work, or trying to encourage them to continue developing the things they developed. Of course, it's not always possible, but often they are interested in continuing development, or at least are happy with the fee that I give them for each sold interface, for example. Some people just like getting finished products when I continue, when I do the modifications that are suitable for my production line, and for other things like auto detection functions, and so. So when I added those and I have some products ready and available, I try to give the original developer one of those finished products, so they can see what they started, you know. I still do hate solder, or sorry, lead-free solder. It's really harder to use than leaded solder, but I have to. I'm getting towards the end, so I got what was it, 6 or 7 interfaces here that I need to complete, and we're done. Development is not always a fun part. Sometimes it's just hard, tough work. Sometimes you run into problems that, with limited knowledge. Everyone has limited knowledge, you know. They are hard to solve. I did start some projects in the past that I was never able to finish because I didn't have the knowledge back then. But what I might like the most is being able to develop creative stuff. For example, I had I had an idea once that when the replica cases were available, and also the transparent, I'm not sure what they're called, key mats for the rubber key ZX Spectrums. I thought, well, now we have this, why not create a ZX Spectrum case where light comes through from LEDs, for example. And I just made one of those cases with LED strips for myself, mainly, just out of curiosity, just playing around, you know, and I never had so many responses to that because people really liked the result, and it wasn't really meant as a commercial product. It was just an idea. And after that, I made some more of those. I think in total 15, maybe, not that much. But some other people thought of the same idea by developing a circuit board with LEDs on it and tactile switches instead of the keyboard membrane for the rubber key ZX Spectrum. I think it's a great idea. The only thing that I personally don't like is using the tactile switches. I think I prefer the membrane, although many people hate the keyboard membrane of the ZX Spectrum with the rubber keys. I personally like it. And I've worked with that keyboard for over 10 years in the past, and now for testing I still use it, of course. I like it. I don't have any problems with it. Just if you know it, it's no problem at all. And of course, when you're used to hard keys like old terminals or Commodore 64 or something like that, if you're into that, then the rubber key ZX Spectrum with the membrane, I can imagine how that feels. That it feels bad, and you know, like the 8-bit guy always says, that it's the worst keyboard made ever, except for the Mattel Aquarius that has an even worse keyboard. But anyway, I think it's not that bad. I think it's better than the keyboard from the ZX81 and ZX80 with the just the membrane, you know, just a small piece of plastic over a membrane. I think the rubber keys are good enough. I like them a lot, and millions of people have been grown up with that keyboard membrane, and there have always been new membranes available when it was needed, you know, so that's not a big deal. Okay, maybe I just have enough. Yeah, I have just enough edge connectors. That's a surprise. I have exactly enough here. Thought I was missing 1 or 2. I do need to improve the extraction system here. It doesn't work that well. Let me see if it actually does extract. It does extract, but it's not. It's worse than it was before. So I need to improve that. I will. Not now, but I will. Well, I'm also going to offer the flux pens that I use myself on my webshop soon, because one reason is that I need a bigger stock of those, because sometimes I'm run out of These flex pens, you can use them for about 15 boards or so and then they're empty. But also because I think more people will enjoy them if I get a stock of them. I think they're about £3 each or something, I have to check. So for S&D, manual S&D, soldering, flex pen is just something you really need. Okay, so 3 more edge finishes to solder on and then we're about done. Except for the board that needs some more parts, you know. Well, I grew up with the rubber key Spectrum, of course, like many people did. And I did like the +2 keys, for example, when I got my first +2. But I really hated it because there were no keywords on it, and I was just used to using the keywords, you know. So I myself really like the rubber keys or the plus keyboard the most. So the Toast Rack, of course, is one of the best machines, and has the plus keyboard and keywords all written still on it. Okay, the Oric is worse than the Spectrum then. Nice. Yeah, I know the nostalgia nerd. It's cool. I watch a lot of videos, not only nostalgic stuff, but also all the new stuff from Linus Tech Tips and um, Steve's Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 Cents, you know, that sort of thing. I like it. Even the guy from Strange Parts, who was trying to add a USB-C connector to his iPhone, brand new iPhone. Very cool. So watch the first video in that series. Curious about the results. Most often he succeeds in that, so I think he knows that it's possible. Yeah. Okay. So I was drinking tea. I was thinking of people in the UK that drink tea as well. I'm not in the UK. I was in the UK 2 weeks ago. I like watching UK dashcam videos because people are really ridiculous. Oh man, they curse a lot there. Anyway, maybe I should have been born in the UK. I'm not sure. I come there more often. And I like Oasis a lot and Green Day and so I think I was born in the wrong country, maybe. But the good thing is that the Netherlands has a lot of facilities that many other countries don't have that much as we have here. So that's a good thing about the Netherlands. A lot of technically aimed cities here. All facilities are in reach. Yeah, I've seen that video here from Clint. Clint just got in the toast rack I sent him. You should watch the video from about 2 weeks ago where he is unpacking stuff that was sent to him. And of course, last week's thrifting episode again. Wasn't the best one, but it still was cool to see. I like thrifting myself, but the stuff that you find here is not as cool as the stuff that Clint finds in the USA. But then again, there are not much ZX Spectrums in the USA, so. Yeah, that's true. You can buy a lot of stuff now. I do buy a lot of stuff. I have plenty of stuff stored. I'm not a collector. I should get to my storage right away because I need to get at some ZX printers to test the new rubber belts, which are waiting. Don't have time for that yet. Just have to wait. I have to say no to people. Already get some emails for people that just say to me, sell me such a belt, but it hasn't even been tested and it's very expensive. So first I have to test it carefully. I guess I also have to do some modifications, like making it thinner, and for that I have to be in contact with Materialize, because they normally don't accept thinner designs. They want to have a wall thickness of at least 1 millimeter, but the ZX printer belt is just half a millimeter, so that's one problem. But maybe because it's good rubber material, it's flexible enough as it is with the 1 millimeter thickness. You have to see that. So I'm going to test that. I want to make sure that durability is good enough, or excellent actually, because I don't want to sell 25 euro costing belts, for example. I'm not sure what the price will be, but it could be somewhere in that neighborhood, really. And then find out that the belts only last for a year or something, you know. That's not what we want. So I have to check carefully if the quality of that rubber material is good enough. But the details were awesome. There's really nothing that can be used as easy as that process. I'm not going to tell you all the details, but you can see it in one of my videos maybe for a part. So it's a printing process, and it's not no secret. It's a printing process, and no one else has tried this new way of producing those rubber printed products. It's a new way of making them, but we have to check if the result is good enough, and then of course I have to see if I can order more at once for a lower price. I have to check all those details. You always get a discount when you order more parts, but I'm also curious if I can just put more parts in one design and have a lower price even. So it would be great if I can obtain them for less than 10 euro each. Then the sales price will be around 17, 18 euro or something. And I'm still not making much profit on it because of the added tax, and you know, that's what you get when you're a business. So please don't blame me for high prices. It's just tax and all the stuff that I have to pay. I'm not making much money on each product. It's just a bit. And some people say, oh, well, your prices are too high, and most of the time there are people that don't pay VAT or tax for the products they sell, and I have to, so I just leave them as they are. If they're jealous, then it's their problem. I'm making a living of it, and that's the only way of making sure there's continuity of the products and developments going on all the time. Good quality of service and good quality of products, you know. But at this moment, my quality of service is not good enough, because I'm still 3 weeks behind with orders. You can imagine I do like to process the oldest orders first, but it would mean that everyone would have to wait for about 3 weeks at this moment, and that will mean that I will get about every order I will get complaints for, and I don't like that. So what I do is I make batches of these products and try to get away all the orders with those products if I can, because there are many orders with more than one product. Sometimes I still have to wait even though one product has been finished. But that's just a reality now. I'm still working hard. I was really surprised by the reactions, by the way, yesterday on Facebook to someone who was complaining about not getting a response from me. And I think I couldn't find a post anymore. You can see it at the start of the stream. So I think he deleted it. But I think he was telling people that he was waiting for 2 weeks, and it was actually not the case. So I don't get it why he was complaining as much. It was only 7 days, and yesterday, it was only 6 days ago that he ordered stuff. So anyway. But people are allowed to complain, of course. That's their right. But please keep it to the facts, if possible. There are other people like I'm Pretty that decide to open their shop for a couple of days in a week. So they make sure that they have enough time to produce all the stuff that people are interested in. But that means that sometimes people have to wait before they can order the stuff, you know. And I could do this as well, but I like to get to the point that we can say that all the products we have are available all the time and can be shipped out within 1 or 2 days, and we're not there yet. It's a great community. Most of the time people really accept when there's some delay, but when you're becoming more of a generic company, when you're becoming more well known, then people expect you to ship out the products within 1 or 2 days. And at this moment I can't. So people are complaining, and they're totally right. It's my fault. I should deal with it. I should hurry up. I'm not getting angry, just getting a bit stressed. That's the only thing. I don't want to get angry to people. I don't like that. There are some people that really start sending me a lot of messages after 2 days after I order something, and they keep doing that. Sometimes until I reply. Sometimes they just keep doing that, even if I did reply. With reasons, of course. Oh man, some people are just, I don't know, they don't like to have friendly contact with others, I don't know. Even though they're right, you can still be polite, you know. I just have to learn to cope with that. I could take an office job, an IT job. I've done that for 70 years and I hated it. Not the work itself, but management, you know, that stuff. I like to be creative. I like to work on things that I thought of myself. I like to focus on that and not focus on politics inside a company and that sort of thing. I should never have taken a job at a company. I should have done this 30 years ago, to be honest. But I'm still young, so I'm glad I'm doing this now. I will never get old. I will keep saying that even when I'm 100 years old or something. I will never get old. Alright, this one is almost done. Perfect. Yep, 3D printing has improved a lot, but a lot of people still think that 3D printing can only be done by their own home-built 3D printer, and many people don't know of the professional 3D printing options which are out there and can easily be used. And I've been telling people about those options. I'm printing all my cases in professional 3D printed solutions, so it's nothing new. I've been telling that for years now. And of course there are still companies, I'm not naming the companies at this moment, but there are still companies that say that 3D printing, professional 3D printing is garbage, and and only injection molding is the solution. You know, I think those companies are thinking old-fashioned. It's totally untrue. Professional 3D printing is an extremely useful solution for smaller series of products, and also for being able to do small modifications to the designs, and the next batch will have the small modifications. You know, that's a good thing about 3D printing, professional 3D printing. And I do have a 3D printer myself, but I'm not using that for ZX Spectrum products. I'm using that for the kids, to be honest. Not joking. Next. So 4 boards left. So as you can see, it's not too hard to be able to do 30 or 40 boards completely in a day now. Because I started at, what was it, 1 o'clock or something? And we've done 15 boards completely now. And that without any employees or expensive professional pick and place machines externally or something. I just do it here. I like it a lot. Good quality stuff. No, you're not distracting me at all. I like it. I like chatting when I'm doing something for work. You know, doing this is very. I don't need my brains that much when I'm doing this work. So I can do other stuff in the meantime. Especially I like watching movies or series or something. At the moment we are subscribed to Disney Plus, which has been in testing phase here in Holland. Sorry, the Netherlands, I'm saying it again. So people can watch Disney Plus already. But at this moment there's not much exciting stuff for me on there. I think I still like Netflix more than Disney Plus at this moment. But my daughter is watching a lot of movies on Disney Plus. I've been watching Dr. Paul, who's originally Dutch as well. Now lives in Canada, of course. But not much else, because I've seen everything with my kids, you know, which is on Disney Plus at this moment, and the new series, the new Star Trek series, and some other stuff might be interesting, but then again, at the same time, we get the new Orville series season 3 at Hulu, I think, next year, and I don't want to take more than one subscription system, so we'll cancel Disney Plus when it's ready, when Orville is streaming. But before that, the new Picard show will be available from January, I think. So for that, we need Amazon Prime. So we'll first get Amazon Prime in January or February, we'll see, and then we'll get to Hulu and watch the Orville. We'll see. But I don't want to be subscribed to more than one service at a time. It's my personal choice. Whatever you think of it, it's my choice. I want to learn my kids that it's not normal to just want everything, you know. You have to choose. You have to have a budget. You have to choose. I can afford it, but it's not the issue. We have to choose, and we have to choose together. We cannot think that we are the most important person ourselves. That's what I want them to learn. And also, the money you save you can use on holiday, something else, some new stuff you like, you know. And kids have to learn that. Yeah, this work is on autopilot. It's not difficult. It's easy. When you've done thousands of boards, it's not difficult anymore. It's like when you go to work, you know, and do the thing you've been doing for years. That's this to me, you know. It's not new. And if you want to know when this batch has been finished, we are at about number 500, serial number 500 of the Pro 1. And it's not the first DivMMC I've been selling. I've sold a lot of other things here. But it is the best selling product at this moment. So it's sales are increasing with the Pro 1. And there will be some combination interfaces available when I get the time to work on them. So for example, I want to make a ZX HD version that's a bit cheaper than the current one. So without a plastic case, it will have a case similar to the ZX EnJOY interface that many people seem to like because it's cheaper. Well, in that case, I will investigate the options for my products as well. People always want a case, but I think they like the ZX EnJOY because it has some kind of a case, somewhat of a case. It still is very affordable. I think that's the biggest reason for that. Okay, just a couple of parts for the 2 boards remaining that were not put on by the pick and place machine. I really love this hot air station because it automatically turns on when you put it out of the machine and cools down and shuts down when it's cooled down, which is awesome. So the ZX HD will be combined with the ZX AY and joystick interface, so people can get an HDMI version of the ZX EnJOY with similar functionality. and I will make the the stereo AY interface optional, so you can obtain the ZX HD with joystick interface and with or without stereo audio interface. And you can, if you want to, you can obtain a separate AY chip later on and put it in. It's completely your choice. And I'm not sure if I will also make a version of that interface with DivMMC edit. I have to check that, because it might be too much, you know, it might be too expensive. I don't know, but maybe I will. Maybe I will make a ZX HD with DivMMC and joystick interface and AY interface. I don't know. That's what most people want. We'll do a couple of versions. When I start developing, I will do different versions, and as I said, they will be a bit cheaper in the future, but will not have the same nice case as the current Pro one has. So it will not be a plastic case. I want to give everyone a choice. So for every budget, people must be able to find the interface that suits them. Yesterday someone sent me an email asking if it indeed would be logical that the ZX HD has some delay in the output, because it builds up the HDMI video by listening to changes in the video memory on the ZX Spectrum. But as it turned out, the ZX HD is often faster, the output is often faster displayed than composite video or RGB, because there's no analog to digital conversion needed. And that's quite cool, you know, that even with the slight delay that the Raspberry Pi in the ZX HD causes by building up the HDMI signal, it's still faster than analog video on many TVs, not all, but many. So it's hard to tell what it will be on your TV, but it's quite cool. Right. Well, I need to sell about 500 products a month to get decent income. So 500 is not that much, but that's only one product. Alright. So, after this, just one more, and when we got 15 completed, might be boring. I haven't checked how many people are still watching. Not that much, I think, but I don't know. It's got some ASMR to it, doesn't it? Seeing someone work instead of you, people like that. Maybe I should be completely silent. Maybe people will like it even more. I wish I had the time to play with music more than I did in the past. I did some cool stuff already. Built a laser harp with a ZX Spectrum, of course. But I would like to play some epic tunes on the ZX Spectrum and add more complete sound to them. So do some arrangements, and I would like that, but I don't have the time for it. Okay, so this one was just one remaining, and then we're done. Let's first do the top parts because we're missing a couple. Say two. Yeah. Alright. Let's get some parts, missing parts ready so we can put them on. It's one. Two. Three. Four. Let's see how many parts do we need. So if I fit sixes, let's put one first. Then 1, 2, 3, 8, 4 sixes. Right, then 4, 5, 6, 10 Ks. can see how much more time this takes compared to the pick and place machine, but this was the last board that when the machine crashed. Je bent aan het streamen? Couple more points and then we're ready. Get away, fly. Hate it. Alright, just 4 more resistor networks and then we're done. Alright. It's hot. Really hot. As you can imagine. Right. I think we're done. Let's check from nearby. Hi. I'm streaming.
Hi.
We can't see you. Okay, lost details, a couple of solder bridges in the CPLD. Yeah, that's the problem, Birdie, with plus 2 and plus 3 ROMs. Routines are all in different places, and it's the same reason that ESXDOS, for example, on a DivMMC doesn't support 128 or plus 3 basic yet, because of all the hooks, all the addresses, all the routines are at different addresses. It's impossible to make ESXDOS compatible with all those ROMs. I'm not sure if it's really impossible, but the traditional way of solving that problem is by making the devices ROM compatible with all the other ROMs and hard coding the addresses in them. But as you can imagine, it's impossible to do with all the differences. So maybe it's better if they just put in some tables with where the routines are stored in different ROMs. I'm not sure. It could be too much for ZX Spectrum. One pin has bent a bit, so it's always a pain, but I'm carefully trying to get them loose again. I think I did it without damaging the board or the part. Yep. Are very sharp eyes, so sometimes I can see it without using a magnifier. Yep, it's okay. Just checking if there's still some flux inside that pen, because it could be empty. But it's just the lead-free solder that's making it a bit harder to get rid of the bridges. I think we're done. Awesome. I forget, yeah, I need to put some solder to the SD card circuit of the previous one as well, and then we're done. I just have to connect 3 connectors to this one to finish this one. Oh, sorry, forgot the bottom SD card circuit as well. So 4. I can do a countdown from 60 seconds or something. Not sure if I can make it in 60 seconds, but please don't start it. What did I say? Anyway, almost done. Never heard of a jump table, but as far as I know, they're called hook codes. So yeah, I think that's what you mean. The hook codes are a system to get to ROM routines without exactly knowing where they are. I'm not sure if they're used on those interfaces. I think they're just hard-coded, the addresses. And it's not really a big problem if some of the features on, for example, the +3 would be written into a dot command, for example, in ESX-DOS. That would solve the lack of ability to access the floppy drive. I think that should work, but there aren't just many developers around. I mean, if you're using DivMMC on the +3, you have all the +3 hardware available. You know, all the memory mapping, all the floppy features, all the sound features, so you can use them. But there aren't any basic commands available when you boot it into ESX-DOS. So I think the solution would be to write dot commands, maybe in the same way as the original +3 floppy commands, you know. But not many people have worked on those. Right, so I think this was the last one. Cannot believe it. I'm done the 60 seconds yet. I'm not particularly that fast, but I just want to do a lot of work. Anyway, let's clean the desk here because there's a lot of flex stuff on this desk, sticky stuff, and I don't like it when I put my hands on it. Hey Jan, good afternoon. We cannot blame Amstrad for everything. Some things that Amstrad decided are actually quite smart, and in the extent of things that Sinclair himself, with Sinclair, with the company, with his team, thought of. But some other things are just chosen to cut costs, you know. And yeah, well, if Amstrad didn't do that, then people would never had any more ZX Spectrum. So yeah, I don't know. You can think of many things. You can think of Sinclair should have never worked on the Sinclair QL. It should never have worked on the C5. But people are happy that they're available. I'm happy that I have my C5 in my bar. It's not finished, but it's still there. Right. So what do we have here? We got a box of 15 Pro 1s that we did in the last 3 hours. We took some time for it. But it's a lot faster than doing these by hand. So usually I could do only half of these in the same amount of time. But anyway, this is done, and I'm happy with that. Let's move a bit lower, sorry, so you can see my head. If you want to see that, of course. I'm going to finish the stream. I liked it a lot, Birdie. Thank you for the chat. I enjoyed it. And I'm going to finish the boards with programming and testing, and they will have some rework because, for example, this batch of chips are known for having some bad examples in between them. So most probably will remove some of the ROM chips on the finished boards and replacing them with working ones. But I have to test them because the chips cost about €1.50 each, and it's a waste of throwing them away, and I don't like that. So it will cost me some more time, but I will make sure that all the working chips are kept working. Yeah, I have a C5 in my barn. Bought it from someone years ago, but I've never had the time to finish it. I even don't know if all the parts are in there, so I have to check that. But it's cool. I've driven a C5 a couple of times in the past. My uncle had one who lived in near Schiphol Airport. You use it to get to his work, by the way, for a couple of years. I drove in one at the Anglia Ruskin University a couple of years ago, which I shouldn't have because we weren't allowed to drive it, but it was a lot of fun. But anyway, it was cool. Okay, we'll see you in the next video, next live stream or something. I like doing this. It helps me get through my work. But first, let's get rid of the orders for people that, who are waiting, and let's complete them and make people happy. So thank you for watching, guys. See you later. Bye.